Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. So today I will show you my sudden urge to draw something fun and a close-up face with a fun makeup. This is not a specific character of mine or anything like that. I just made a funny selfie and used this as a reference for the artwork. And there is this one word that started to appear in my vocabulary pretty often. And the word is delulu. I don't know why, it's just so funny, it sounds funny to me, so I decided I would draw something that would fit the word. So I made a funny picture. I also went to Pinterest to look for some fun makeups, and I've seen these girls making a very bright makeups that are super visible and super rough on the eyes, like you could clearly see where it ends. So I decided why not to paint something similar while also testing out the idea of mine. So my idea was actually to check how alcohol-based markers and acrylic paint pens are going to interact with each other if I would layer one on top of the other. Specifically, acrylic paint marker goes on top of the alcohol-based marker because I don't think the alcohol-based marker can actually land on top of the acrylic paint and be visible. And also I was flipping through this little sketchbook of mine and there are some spreads that I've been neglecting for some time. So I decided to finally color this one because I sketched these faces out quite some time ago, but I never had a chance to actually think about how I want to color it because I really liked the sketch and it would be such a shame not to color it. So here in this video you will see me fixing this little misunderstanding between me and my sketchbook. So for the starters, I'm going to do some underpainting on the skin of the face. I'm going to land some pink colors on the cheeks, on the lips and also on the nose and mark the shaded areas with pink as well, and then later on layer more skin tone on top of that so it will appear a little bit darker and make a nice gradient shadow under the strands of hair. So then I'm going to land the base skin color and go with my pink marker again on the same spots where I want the shadow to be a little darker, so it's going to be more contrast in general, but I still want to keep it really light in terms of shading, so I'm not going to go over with purple markers like I usually do. Let's pretend that there is a very bright light going on top of the character's face here. I really like when people are dyeing their hair with fun colors, and whenever I see a person in a public place that is wearing a very fun color on their hair, I really silently adore them and appreciate them. They are always inspiring me because these people usually also have a very cool clothing style. So although I would never ever be able to come up to this person and compliment their look because I'm a freaking anxious person. And I also don't want to bother them, I would try and keep in memory how they looked like and then use this memory as an inspiration for a character look or a doodle or something like that. Damn, I really wish I could come up to a person and just tell them how cool they look, but I'm too anxious and I think they will think I'm weird. Did anybody ever compliment your appearance somewhere out in public, just out of nowhere, without any expectations or anything like that? Tell me your fun, weird and creepy stories in the comments. I will start. So one time I decided to go to a retro event and I really enjoyed the retro style in general. I have quite a few outfits that are in pin-up style, like dresses, and I used to dance jive when I was still in my home country. But yeah, that one time I was traveling from one city to another by a public bus, the one that, you know, goes in between the cities for like a couple hours. So I made a nice look. I made a makeup, I made a nice hairstyle, wore this cute little dress with polka dot and went to the bus. The travel was nice and normal like usual, you know. I was just enjoying my music and doing some doodles in my sketchbook, and by the end of it, when it was time to leave the bus and go on with your day, one of the ladies stops me. I thought that I dropped something and she wanted to give it back to me, but no, she just goes, "Girl, I love your dress, you look amazing." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so so much. I just melted into a pink little puddle of cuteness and exited this bus, and I was so flustered with emotions. I'm like, I've never received a compliment from a stranger before. It felt nice. But myself, I would love to go out and just compliment every pretty looking person, and literally I find most of people very attractive, but some people are just having like a blast in their outfit or the hairstyle or a makeup, and I just want to point out that they are doing amazing and they look amazing, but I would never be able to do that because I'm so anxious, and for some reason I just feel like I'm so vulnerable at this moment. So yeah, fear robs me of some joy of sharing emotions with strangers. But it also probably have saved me from several situations that I wouldn't want to find myself in. I don't know, what do you think about it? If you dress up and go outside in public, would you want random people come over to you and tell you that you're beautiful, or you would rather not have any extra attention, just be in peace with your own thoughts and your own day? So coming back to what I was saying, I love people with fun color of the hair, so I decided to give this girl also some fun color, and I decided to go with blue. It was my favorite color for the very long time when I was smaller, and to complement the blue hair I wanted to make her eyes stand out more, so I think the yellow will complement that just perfectly. I really like that color combination of blue and yellow. And online I've seen a lot of pictures of makeup artists showing their artistic makeup, and it got me inspired, so I decided to draw something similar to that, because we usually see the natural makeup that is not too fun and it uses more or less same color palette that is nude or neutral. So for a change I wanted to draw something with fun colors, because yeah, how often do you see yellow makeup? So a thick yellow eye outline and a few dots, and I think it will look perfect. I'm also going to add some funny little stars around the face because it fits perfectly with the Lulu, no? I find it a perfect combination, so stars it is. And when I'm more or less happy with the colors, I'm starting to work on the line art. For this drawing, I'm thinking to go for a combination of thick and thin liners and also neat and messy lines here and there. So for most of the big hair strands, I'm going to use like a more neat line art, giving a little bit of line weight on top. And then for the rest of the drawing, on the eyebrows, on the eyelashes, and also the lines on the face, I'm going to use a messy thin lines. They're going to emphasize the style and fill in the gap, making the whole drawing finished. I have heard an opinion from other artists about the line art being the hardest part and the least enjoyable. I cannot agree on that. Line art is like the favorite part of mine, actually. I enjoy doing it sometimes even more than the coloring itself. And if you would look through most of my sketchbooks, there are unfinished, quote unquote unfinished, artworks that are actually finished that are not colored, and I really like how they look and I don't want to change a thing, or at least I want to make a copy of it and try coloring it on a separate paper and to keep the original. But they are mostly like large format artworks, so they have a lot of details in the line art, so they don't even really need the coloring. They are already finished enough for me and for my eye. So yeah, this is my unpopular opinion. Line art is actually more enjoyable than the coloring. What do you think? Do you like doing line art? Do you prefer an artwork without a line art? Do you include the line art into your own work? Do you prefer it to be colored line art or a black one? Oh my god, so many questions and so little answers. I think I need to do another style study video on that. What do you think? Yay or nay? As you can see in this drawing, I used a mixture of both thick and the thin messy lines. And I think this is going to be it. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you like my work, please give this video a thumbs up. Let's share our compliment in public stories and also our opinions on the line art in the comments and discuss the differences. I can't wait to read them. And of course, don't forget to wash your cup. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!